Hey, Coach. Last night's game, you guys, it looked real nip and tuck for a while. You guys wound up pulling it off against Palmview last night. How were you able to do it? It looked like for a while that Palmview, from what I saw at the score updates, they were in control of the game up until the third quarter.
Yeah, well, we were down 12, going into the second half, and they actually went up on us by 16. That first 2 minutes of the third quarter. We just changed up our defense. We ended up going a little half-court trap, and the half-court set, put a little bit more pressure on them. They looked like they were trying to stall the ball a little bit, trying to spread us out. So we ended up going to a little half-court trap, and they had some open looks. They just didn't convert on them, and then they had some turnovers down the stretch. And we actually finally, converted on the offensive end and put a little pressure on them because they had a little cushion throughout the whole first half. And once we got it to single digits, I think they felt a little bit more pressured, and they were a little bit more tight on offense, and they weren't as fluid as they were in the first half.
Oh, wow. So, you with that win last night, you guys were going to flip for seeding. How did that go today?
Yeah. I talked to Coach Cortez, and we both agreed that, with the situation that we were in, going into the playoffs, having the risk of injury, the chances of, our opponents being able to come scout us, and, there's a lot of reasons, a lot of things that go into that, when we make that decision. But we both agreed to flip on it. We ended up flipping on it, and I ended up winning I called the coin toss, and Coach Cortez flipped it, and we ended up taking the 1 seed.
Oh, wow. So who will you face, and what do you know about them?
Okay, we'll be playing Del Rio. They're the number 4 seed over there in the 29 6A district, over in the Laredo district. We'll be playing on a Tuesday next week. We're still not sure on the location and as far as the time is concerned, because right now we're looking at Pleasanton, Floresville, or I believe it's Tilden. I think it's called Tilden.
Oh, wow. So you're all the way up there.
Yeah, we're all the way up there. I mean, there was no way. The coach from Del Rio wanted to go home and home, and Del Rio's way out there. It's too far of a drive for us, especially on a school night and having the kids, it's a full day drive and having to play at a high level for the bi-district championship. It's going to be kind of tough. So we kind of met halfway. I mean, it's still about a 3-hour drive, but the plans are for playing Tuesday nights, hopefully about 7:30, and we're just waiting on. Really, we're waiting on Pleasanton or Floresville. So.
Okay, and how's the health of your team right now?
We're good. I mean, I don't want to say I'm glad we had some injuries early, but I'm glad we're all healthy right now. I mean, the first round of the district, we went 4-2, and we had a couple injuries there in the beginning of the district round, and then we ended up getting healthier as the second round started, and I think we're playing some pretty good basketball now, and hopefully that continues here going into the playoffs. So, but as far as health concerns, we don't have no concerns right now. We just kind of glad that we ended up flipping. We won the flip, and we're going to have a little couple days here of rest and preparation for Del Rio, and hopefully we'll be ready to go Tuesday night.
So who's with all the injuries and everything that you went through, who's playing the best right now for you? Who are the guys that are standouts right now for you guys?
You know what? That's a great question. I really love the team I have this year because it's not just one player. It could be from Michael Garcia, who he was the one that was injured the first round, and he's really stepped it up on the defensive end for us as far as hustling and getting defensive boards here down the stretch. He even scored a good amount of points against Memorial when we played him the second round, when we actually upset him here at McHi's. But if it's not him, it's Oscar Rangel, who's been shooting the ball very well, and he's our number 23. He's our shooting guard, and as long as he's shooting the ball, even if he makes or misses, as long as he's taking his attempts, it keeps our offense flowing, and it gives the other guys an opportunity to either get offensive rebounds or have lanes to penetrate when the other defenses are trying to key on him or trying to stop him. But I can go on and on. If it's one kid doing a good job on the defensive end, getting defensive boards or even offensive putbacks, if it's our point guard right now who's controlling the tempo and controlling the game as far as running the offense and doing a good job on their point guard as far as putting ball pressure and not letting them get into the flow of their offense. But if it's not one thing, it's another. And like last night's game, this is the most recent game, we had Cody Smith, William Smith, coming off the bench and scoring, being our leading scorer with 17 points. So, I mean, it could be either one of the boys that we have on the floor on any given night. So I think that's one element of our team that it's kind of hard to scout us and hard to kind of prepare for us. If you stop one thing, we're going to try to attack you in another way on the floor. So if it's either inside or outside.
Okay, well, that's good for Del Rio if they're watching this. The other thing I wanted to ask you was, you were a guard. You were a guard in high school and college, a point guard. And having played men's league with you, you're a very smart guard. Do you expect the same thing out of your point guard? I mean, is he kind of you've only been there, this year, but have you tried to mold him more into playing your style of point guard?
Most definitely. As being a point guard at the high school and collegiate level, all I had was basketball knowledge. All I had was being intelligent and smart on the floor. I didn't have much height or much size or much jumping ability, so I had to rely on that big time. And that's what I'm trying to do as far as, as a coach, especially at the point guard position, because that's the position I know the most. I try to teach them how to be smart, when to make decisions, and what decisions to make at certain times. And I think our starting point guard right now is Juan Lopez, and I think he's improved big time as far as basketball knowledge and as far as being smart on the floor. I mean, having a lot of poise, knowing when to push the ball on a fast break, knowing when to set up, knowing when we needed to get a good look or a high percentage bucket. He does a good job on the floor for us, and so does our other point guard. We have 2 point guards. We have Michael Ramirez also, who does a good job. So, I mean, I want to say they've changed their game because I've come here, but, I mean, they when we started off the season, I mean, I can tell you, man, these kids had a lot of skill, a lot of talent, but they didn't really have much guidance and much knowledge of how to play the game and how to play as a team. And I think as the season's gone on here, we're going into 30-plus games. I think you're seeing the improvement from the way we were playing in November to the way we're playing here in February going into the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, I hold them very accountable for their play, and of course I hold them at a high level. They have to play at a high level, especially if they want to advance in the playoffs, and especially if they want to win the district, right? Yeah, so we're co-district champs, So, I mean, those trophies, those number 1 seeds and stuff, nobody gives them away down here in the Valley. You got to play for them. You got to play hard and you got to play smart throughout the whole season.
So, do you think 35A or 35A, 36A now has always had a hard time with the 29 6As or 5As before that? How does your team look? Playing Del Rio. Do you think your team has the fortitude to kind of pull it through and win?
I believe all our teams in our district this year, more than any other year in the past, have a legit shot to advancing in the first round. I think our district was one of the toughest districts here in the Valley, even though a lot of districts, even some of the 5A districts were very competitive. I know over there in 32 6A over there was like a 3-way tie. They had to flip for it, and everybody's very competitive. But our district, I mean, to be honest with you, Palmview, Rowe, Memorial, and us, I mean, either one of us could have been district champions. I mean, we were just 1 bucket, 2 buckets away from beating each other. So I think seeing the way that the competition was in district this season, I believe all 4 of us can compete with all those Laredo schools in the first round. I wish, wishful thinking, I wish we can go 4-0 against them, but, past history with that district, they've always been very competitive and very tough. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we split 2-2 or even go 3-1 with them.
Well, that's good to know now. But best of luck next week in your game with Del Rio, and hopefully, we do get those 4-0 record.
Well, thank you, and hopefully we'll win there. And we can't look past Laredo first, but I would love to actually get past them and maybe play another Valley team because the Valley basketballs are actually getting pretty competitive and pretty good. So hopefully we can make a run, not just us as McHi, but hopefully someone from the Valley can make a run to the regional tournaments.
Well, I appreciate the phone call, and thanks for talking with us today.
All right. Thanks, Jake.